Part 4, we're going to go over questions 31 through 40 on the test, and so we'll jump right into it. So first, 31, we're looking for a mode. Remember, that's the most often. MO is the way I like to remember that. So most often value. 20, 38, 40. So we have two 38s right here. All right, three 38s and two 49s. So 38 is the one that's repeated the most often. So that is our mode. All right. We want to identify the distribution as symmetric, left skewed, or right skewed. Just a quick reminder, symmetric is your normal curve. Skewed to the, so this will just be symmetric. A right skewed would be one where our outliers lie to the right. And then a left skewed, our outliers lie to the left. So that's the way to think about that. If you have an outlier, there we go. The weight of full-term newborn babies. Now that's a normal distribution, I believe, or symmetric, so I think that makes the most sense. All right, so next question. Age at death for residents of the United States. Well, most people die when they're elderly. So that's definitely going to look a little bit more like this. This is when people die. There's a few people who die young, but that's rare. So it's definitely a left skewed. And the number of siblings of adults in the United States. Well, I have 11 siblings, but I'm definitely an outlier, so usually it'd be right skewed. Usually you'll have a few siblings, but you definitely won't have a lot of siblings. There are some cases, but those are further and far between. So right skewed on that one. All right, which distribution is skewed to the right? This one, I have no idea what's going on there. That one right there is a left skewed because notice the outliers will lie on the left. C is the correct answer. The outliers lie on the right, therefore that is a right skewed. And we're ready to move to the next question. All right, question 36 says we want to find the heights of a group of college athletes consists of female gymnastics team and the male basketball team. Okay. All right, how many peaks would you expect to find on the distribution described below? Well, most likely female gymnastics have a certain height, which is smaller than the male basketball team, and the male basketball team would have another. So you would expect that to be something like this, where the height of the gymnastics is down here and the height of the basketball players is over there. Because usually you won't have a lot of short basketball players, but you won't have really a lot of tall. So if they contain both of those, we're looking at 2 peaks on that one. We're looking for the weights of first graders in school. Once again, the weights in general, if you were to grab a random population, is going to be very normal. That's just a normal distribution, so we're looking at probably 1 peak in that case. The test scores of 15 students are listed below. We want to obtain the 5-number summary. Remember, that's the median, the lowest value, the highest value, and then the lower quartile and the upper quartile. Those are the 5-point summaries. Okay, so we want to notice that they already give it to us in values. So 40 is at the bottom. That's one of our points. And we'll just put that there. 95 is the other value. So it's going to be between 40 and 95. And notice that they do all those. Now we need to find the median. There's 15 values. So we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 70 should be our mean. And then our upper quartile will be halfway between those two. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's right here. So 86 would be the upper quartile. And 1, 2, 3, and 55 would be the lower quartile, roughly. Let's see. So there we go. D is the correct answer. As far as we're getting closer to those values. Let's see. And let's see, the median, yep, so that's correct. Some of those are close values. The median, the median is 70, so we know it's, I can count out A and C here. That's how I know that it's not those, because those were 71.5s. And then 52.5 would be down here, so 54 is more accurate, as well as 85.5. 87 is probably a little bit more accurate on that side. So find the standard deviation of the given data. Round your answer to one more decimal place than the original data. Okay, so we're going to need the formula over here. Let's remember, for question 39, remember that we have the standard deviation is equal to the formula of the square root of the sum of all the numbers minus the mean squared, all divided by the number of terms minus 1. Sometimes you'll see it just n, sometimes n minus 1. In this case, just use the n minus 1. So what we're going to do is, let's find those values. First off, we need to find the mean. So we'll come over here and calculate the mean, which is 3 plus 5 plus 6 plus 6 plus 9 plus 1, which is 30. Divide that by 6 terms, we get a mean of 5. So we know our mean is 5. So our next step is we want to calculate the value minus the mean and square it for each of those terms. So we want to do first 3 minus 5, which is negative 2, squared happens to be 4. A 5 minus 5 squared happens to be 0. A 6 minus 5 squared is 1. 1 squared is 1. We'll do 6 again, and we get another 1 term. A 9 minus 5 is a 4. A 4 squared is a 16. And a 1 minus 5 gives me a negative 4, which a negative 4 squared is 16. Notice they all turn positive because of the squared. So let's add those terms up, because remember, now we're going to take the sum of each of those numbers. 4 plus 0 plus 1 plus 1 plus 16 plus 16 gives us 38. So now we know that the standard deviation is the square root of 38 over 5, because remember we had 6 terms, 6 minus 1 is 5, and that will give us our standard deviation. So I'll take 38, divided that by 5, and take the square root. So 2.75 or 2.8. C is my correct answer. On 40, Jian is currently taking college economics. In the future, on the past 5 quizzes, she's got the following scores: 5, 17, 1, 13, and 12. Find the range for the given data. So that means you take the highest value and you subtract the lowest value, and that will give you your range. So in this case, our highest value is 17. So 17, and our lowest value is 1. So 17 minus 1 is 16. That was question 40, question 16, and that's it for part 4. I'll see you in part 5.